Hi, besties. Thanks for joining this week. I kind of have been a little bit MIA. MIA is what I would say. Not completely, but I just kind of I had to take a step back for a second, and I'm going to tell you why. Just briefly. I, do you ever feel now I know everyone has experienced like a sense of burnout before. And the burnout I was feeling caused me, don't wanna completely blame it, but hey, here we are. I was just ready to I was getting into it with people on social media, and that's man, unless it's, like, something I'm so incredibly passionate about, it wasn't really worth it, you know what I mean? So, I took a break for a few days. That's okay to do, but if you knew the whole story, man, it it was warranted, but that's okay. We're, we're gonna move on from it. So, I'm here again, and even after being sick this week, y'all, I don't even wanna in the midst of my quote unquote "break," I thought it was, like a stomach flu. No, just hit me, and, so I think it was food poisoning. How fun. Aren't you so glad you tuned in? Okay, so I just really want to go ahead and just jump in to some chit chat with y'all about, well, what else? Scandival, some Bravo world gossip, the huge, okay? Now, before I get started, friends, be sure and go follow Besties by Bravo on Instagram, on TikTok. Twitter is kind of a cesspool, but sometimes it's fun. Go ahead and join there. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube. I'm doing my first actual YouTube live right now. I was supposed to be doing it last week, and then I was a big dum dum and shared the wrong link with literally everyone. So I shared the link with no one this week, and I'm just giving it a test run. Excuse me. So I am actually live this time. So I made it. Okay. I'm here. There's literally no one in the room. So that's all right. Okay. Wow. Oh, and also leave a great review. Okay. Subscribe. The more you subscribe, the better reviews you leave, the more apt I am to be able to do more podcasts because I was this last week going to uh, try and do one on either Real Housewives of New Jersey or on Ultimate Girls Trip or Summer House. But like I said, I realized, okay, I'm getting burned out, and I'm not going to be giving really my best. And so, why do y'all don't want to hear my worst? So here we are. Oh my gosh, y'all, did you did you catch this? Besties, did you catch Schwartz on Watch What Happens Live? If you did not, don't worry, I watched it, okay? I watched it for you. Now, there are going to be spoilers about the episode. I'm sure you watched the latest episode of VPR here, but just in case you didn't, and for whatever reason, I'm your recap source here, and then you're gonna go watch it. Here are some spoilers that are going to be coming up, but a lot of these really were part of the trailer, and it's not really a huge surprise. The biggest question of all, we all have had, did Schwartz know about the affair? Hmm. Did Schwartz know about Raquel and Sandoval's affair? Great question. Great question, friend. Uh-huh. Yeah, he sure did. He claimed that, well, he found out a bit about a one-night stand in August. You heard me. August. Now, this is cute because I was like, I need to double check my dates here. And what was in August? Sheena's wedding at the end of August. How many days were left in the month of August for Schwartz to have known before or after he made out with Raquel? Which, oh my God, I need that like 30 seconds of my life back, Bravo, because that was not didn't want to watch that. That was creepy. I'm just gonna adjust my mic very briefly. Bear with me. Okay. Didn't like it. No. Mm-mm. Creepy uncle kiss. That is just so wrong on so many levels. I mean, truly. So, that being said, Did Schwartz know? Again, yes, in August, back when it was, well, Sheena's wedding. And so Andy calls him out on that, right? And Andy's like, okay, but Sheena's wedding was in August, in late August. Sheena's wedding, I believe it was the 23rd, because you remember when she was saying to Lisa, oh my God, like we have our anniversaries all the same week, you and Ken, and then me and Brock, and then there's Pandy and Jason, and we oh my god, we should all go on a trip together. And Lisa was like, "I'm so good, thank you, though." But yeah, it was at the end of August, and so Schwartz claimed that he knew about the quote unquote one night stand. How is it a one night stand when you're in a relationship and it's a secret? Yeah, exactly. Tell me. And also going with that, well, was Schwartz a decoy? And Schwartz claims he was not. A lot of people were wondering if it was not about the pasta during this interview. I don't know. I, I I think he just for once did not have his wingman to turn and look at and go, "Oh, am I saying the right thing, Bubba?" And Bubba is, in my opinion, now Sandoval because Katie is so much better than Bubba now. Okay. Now, The he something else about Schwartz. Oh my god. He must have, like, one of those word of the day calendars, because he really likes to try and be as verbose as possible and seem as though he has an incredibly expansive vocabulary. Now, he said that the affair was quite linear in the way it progressed, okay? That he found out about this quote unquote one night stand. I can't get over that term, but okay. In August, apparently he found out after the wedding. Mm, I don't know what's more strange. All right. Now he says then in January is when Sandoval told him he was in love with Raquel and that he allegedly tried to break up with Ariana multiple times. Sir, okay. The, there is no not to go all Yoda or Mr. Miyagi on you, but there is no try, there is only do. You either do it or you don't. You can't just try. I mean, unless I don't see Ariana being the type of person that when someone is trying, quote unquote, trying to break up with her to be like, no, no, we're not breaking up. I see her as the type to either say, "Hey, you know what? What are the reasons? Is it something we can work on together?" I do see that. I see her as going, I don't want to. Why? Oh, okay." But I don't see her being that person to be so incredibly unhinged that she would be like, "No, you can't break up with me. That's just not how it works." I, do you? You don't see that. You know Ariana is not that person. Okay? We know that. Now, then he's that was the thing too. Again, he kept looking at Jeff Lowe, Rob Lowe's son. I believe what is his name? Jeff Owen Lowe, I think is what his name is. Anyhow, he kept looking to him the way he normally would to Sandoval because he's so codependent on any individual to look to for what he needs to say and not say. Period. And then he goes on to say what is truly, I mean, wow. They I guess Sandoval must have seen Twilight, read Twilight, seen it. I don't know, because if this is what he was saying, or maybe Schwartz just has, but Schwartz said that because Tom Sandoval has ADHD, hi, welcome to the club. Okay. He had a hyperfixation, is what it's called, on Raquel because he gets his hyperfixations on things. That was the word. If you wanted to know what your word of the day calendar should have said for you that day, Schwartz, that was one of them. Not to say that Sandoval got lost in the sauce, and then to also not say next to someone who is 5 years sober and the son of someone who is like 33 years sober, that Raquel is his heroine. As in, not not the no, not the hero. No, but the incredibly addictive drug because, uh, on what I am so sorry, but I am just, trying to imagine on what planet someone could view Rachel Leviss as so addictive that she could be compared to heroin. w look, she's gorgeous, okay? No one is denying that, and she can be outwardly sweet, but seriously? I okay, sure. What was real funny was that then Andy now this, I think, went over a few people's heads. At least I was watching this with my mom, and she had no idea what this meant. Thank God. But Andy, when he was saying, during the episode that Schwartz was on Watch What Happens Live with Sandoval, that Schwartz just kept looking to Sandoval for how to answer. And Andy was essentially asking, like, were you looking at him to make sure you didn't say something stupid and out him, right? And Schwartz then says, no, no, I was trying to be inclusive. Are you serious? Inclusive? Trying to include him in the interview? Nah, no, no. Sandoval has no problem not only including himself, but making himself the most center of attention because remember the name of his quote unquote band, the cover band is literally the most extras. So he knows how to do that. He's fine. He doesn't need your help with being included, Schwartz. So Andy said, oh, "Were you just like trying to cover for him or were you just bottoming for him the whole time?" Wow. And, yeah, so then he asked Schwartz, "Would you have made out with Raquel that night she asked you when at the Caribou Club?" Was that? No, not that's sorry, my bad. Beverly Hills in Aspen. No, the Canyon Club. See? Look at me getting it all crossed and mixed up. And he said when she asked, yeah, he would have if the cameras had not been there. Duh. And basically, at the end of this, Schwartz then says, if you see Sandoval, he may not deserve it, but give him a hug. Are you fucking serious, bro? Give him a hug? Give Sandoval a hug? Really? No. You're being so much nicer about this egotistical, narcissistic, and here's some good words to add to your word of the day calendar, Schwartz. This maniacal, what's another word for monster? Villain, I mean, outlier, piece of shit. How about that? No. Lala put a funny little story response that no, we're not doing that. We're punching him in the dick. I'm not going to promote violence, but maybe instead of doing it, just look him in the eyes and say, "I am punching you in the dick right now with my eyes and my words. Good day, sir." I don't know. That makes sense? Mhm. That being said, uh, Schwartzy was a whole lot nicer about that, you know, piece of shit, that narcissistic piece of shit, than he was his own wife because, well, we're gonna get into that, okay? So, there's more than just Vanderpump Rules gossip I wanna talk with you, okay? Now, it's gonna be Vanderpump Rules for a minute, though, right? Then I guess Sandoval was seen taking Rachel to the airport earlier this week, going to some unknown destination. She had multiple large bags apparently, and I don't know, I have a feeling this is where the PR team has finally paid off and she is going to a mental facility of some kind, a rehab center, something. Rehab for love. Mhm. And this I did not like seeing. A lawsuit came out naming Lisa Vanderpump's son-in-law, claiming sexual harassment. Yeah. Jason, I believe his last name is Sabo. Yeah, and it has to do with the wine company and an employee that apparently was expected to give him sexual favors whenever they got together. And it would be on business trips and it was just expected. So that's not good. And did y'all know this? I didn't know this, but Jason apparently used to be a server at Villa Rosa. Like, really? I'm assuming this had to have been before meeting Pandy or Pandora, and then there was a lot of talk now about how he's been cheating and may have hooked up. This is all alleged, okay? alleged, let me just put a blanket alleged here, right? May have allegedly hooked up with Kristen Doty before getting together with Pandora. This would explain more of why Lisa hates Kristen Doty so much. I mean, I know there were a lot of things that went down in the first, second, and third seasons on this show between Kristen Doty, like maybe telling a manager or part owner someone to go suck a dick. Remember that? So I'm sure that has to do with it. But yeah, that that probably kicked it off, I would imagine. Okay, so here's some non-Vanderpump news. Guess what? Roni Legacy is actually possibly happening now. Uh, it was scrapped. We were all furious. We were not happy about this, right? Because another alleged that Jill Zarin was supposedly having an issue with the pay, but really it was that she just wanted the pay to be equal. And girl, I get it. That I can be down with. But at the same time, you haven't been on our televisions as long as the other women have been. They stayed for a very long time. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that completely. Now, with that, what they are apparently, allegedly planning to do is make it a Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip type of style. So, girls trip style. And it looks like the network is hoping for Ramona to join. They are expecting Luann, Dorinda, Kelly Ben Simone, and Sonia. And again, they are hoping for Ramona to be joining. Now, I have not seen anything regarding whether or not Jill Zarin is even being asked. Don't know. She may have shot herself in the foot. I'm so sorry, Jill. I do think you are fun to watch on TV, though. You crack me up. What can I say? Now, with that, they might allegedly be going to Scary Island. Could you imagine? Also, Bethany has been like alluding to this idea that maybe she's being asked by the network for something, possibly, and she's saying, just meet my number and I might do it. I don't know. I, I know she's pissing us off as this quote unquote accidental beauty influencer. Ma'am, there's nothing accidental about what you're doing. If we all had the coins to just go buy the $500 foundation and then put ourselves in front of a camera when we already have a couple million followers, yeah, we could also be accidental beauty influencers. She doesn't show us what happens to her skin throughout the day. She doesn't inform us of, the base on these products, what type of primer you need to use. Is it silicone? Is it water based? These are things that actually are very important to know. So, no, Bethany, you're not a beauty influencer. You are just trying out products. And I am really tired of you pumping on about the dollar store products, not knocking dollar store products because y'all, inflation and this economy, they fucking suck right now. But a lot of times there are some bad chemicals in that. There are bad chemicals in all our stuff. Let's just be honest. But I'm just going to tell you this right now. L'Oreal owns everything. Everything. If you think, trust me, I'm going to go ahead and beauty influence you right now. If, let's just say, you love the Estee Lauder long wear foundation, right? That's like one of the top ones. Guess who owns Estee Lauder? L'Oreal. Guess what? L'Oreal has made the exact same foundation. Go get their long wear foundation if you would like to not spend the same money. That on the double wear, isn't that the name of it? L'Oreal owns Lancome. L'Oreal owns YSL makeup. Yes, you heard me. L'Oreal also owns Kerastase. L'Oreal owns Redken. So, you need the drugstore dupe. There you go. It's L'Oreal. When I was a hairstylist licensed, I would tell people if you're gonna go ahead and buy a, drugstore item, get L'Oreal. Yeah, don't do Tresemme. It's no bullshit. Go get L'Oreal. Their Everpure lines, perfectly fine. They mimic a lot of the Redken. They do have a lot more fillers in them, but there you go. That's it. Now, I'm gonna wrap up our gossip here with. Now, remember, I would have no way of knowing because I'm blocked by her. You heard it, Jen Shaw. She has apparently been writing a Real Housewives musical play for the theater in prison. Yeah. Hmm. Didn't know she was a playwright. But hey, you know what? And they say there are not enough arts opportunities in the clinker. Yet here we are. Wow. Okay. Should we get into the episode of Vanderpump Rules? Okay, let's just go ahead and do it. We start off that episode with Allie, who at least, is walking away from James being a complete dickhead rather than standing there, sitting there, blinking her giant Bambi eyes with kind of a slight frown. And I mean, I just imagine Allie was walking back to call her mom and say, Mommy, I need you to come pick me up from Mexico. Because I might have been doing the same thing. But I also loved that James was making fun of Sandoval because now anyone making fun of Sandoval or saying anything disparaging about Sandoval, I'm very sorry, but I'm kind of for because, well, mhm, we know how we feel about Sandoval nowadays, don't we? So, that being said, back to it. Now, back to the Schwartz and Katie dinner. Good God. Good God. Honey, Katie, Bubba, you're fine. No, don't worry. That man wore a suit with I'm pretty sure they were knockoff Adidas slides. Oh my god. Now, listen, I know a lot of Midwesterners, and I've seen a lot of perfectly beautiful weddings that were upscale on the beach where a man is wearing a suit and wearing sandals with it. That's fine. You know what? You're on the beach. Okay. That if that's what you want to do, go ahead. That's fine. Along with that, oh my gosh, and I just saw something I meant to look up because maybe I'm an idiot for not knowing what this means, but I can do some deductive reasoning because anyway, Schwartz, you don't wear black and white plastic slides with a suit. That's not the way you do it. You do the leather thong sandals, okay? It's not cute either way, but if you're going to do it, then do it that way, not this way. That was bad. God. And get a pedicure. Shave your toes. Buzz them down. Do something, okay? Wow. So when Katie shows up, she looked really cute. I loved that little dress. They cheers to, well, they're supposed to be cheersing and celebrating essentially the closing of their home. And Schwartz says, as Katie's trying to have a moment with him, cheers to getting back on the hedonic treadmill. And she's like, "What? No." And he's like, "What? You never heard that before?" You know, okay. Now I know a lot of you tend to turn this off whenever I start going on a rant, but maybe I'm triggered. That could be it, and it's quite possible. But when Schwartz says to Katie, oh my god, that he is now doing this, that he stands up for her more now than he did while they were married. Oh my god. Oh my god, you have never once stood up for your wife, and it is absolutely atrocious the way you have treated her and then continue to treat your wife who you are not actually divorced from yet. You are only separated, sir. The way you are treating her is appalling and it is so hurtful. It is so hurtful and I can't even explain how heartbreaking this was. And now, yes, y'all know I'm a Katie stan and I have been from the beginning. Even when it wasn't popular, not that it's popular now, but I have always been a fan of Katie because I could, as I've said before, I could see through that man's bullshit and I could see what she was putting up with. And I'm sorry, if I were dating and married to Tom Schwartz, I would probably go nuts a few times too. I would. Wow. So then I recall hearing, and I don't remember now if this was during their dinner or if it was on the Watch What Happens Live, but Schwartz not only said Katie was a monster, you heard the word I just used, monster, in the beginning of their marriage relationship because she quote unquote abused the wife card too much. And he says to her, you can't pull the wife card 16 times a day. Excuse me? If I'm your wife, yes, I can. And I don't see any part where she was unreasonably asking him to just have her back, because the problem was, it wasn't even that he just was conflict avoidant. It wasn't even just that. It was that even if there wasn't a conflict and she was standing up for him, he would just do anything he could to choose whatever side she was not on. She could have said, "Oh wow, love that the sky is blue today." And someone could have been like, "Really? It looks a little green to me." And Schwartz would have immediately turned it into, "Bubba, no, no, the sky's green. I don't care. They say it's green. You got to hear them out. Right or wrong?" Right. So then a producer in confessional asks Katie why she thinks he didn't stand up for her. Now, if this doesn't get you to maybe, oh, yeah. When she said, maybe because he didn't really like me. He loved me, but he didn't like me. Mm, maybe that just hit close to home for me. But if you've ever been in that relationship where someone made you feel that way, oh my God, man, I would be Tequila Kitty would have nothing on. I There's nothing that can go with Caitlyn, but, hmm, I it wouldn't go well. And my God, I Schwartz has the emotional maturity of a string bean, or you know what? He has the emotional maturity of the butter he's eating with the fork and knife. I Listen, you wanna make it easier for her to look at you and be like, "Yep, dodge that bullet," as you're sitting there saying, "Oh my God, this suit, I used to be so sexy in this, Bubba, but now I can't wear it anymore. I don't even know where my dick is. I can't even sit here comfortably and let you finish a simple cheers because my phone is in my pocket because the suit's so small. Did you not try on anything you own before you went on this trip? Probably not. It's Schwartz. No, it's Schwartz." And eventually, though, they're going back and forth. I just didn't even have the mental capacity to because it would have been a bigger rant than it already is. When Schwartz says, "I think it's better if we don't talk." Fuck you, Tom Schwartz and Sandoval. So fuck you, Toms. Tom does not the name Tom, have we had a single good Tom on Bravo? Let's see, Tom Luann's Tom? Please don't let it be about Tom. It's about it's about Tom. Okay, great. Then we have Tom Girardi. Mhm. Mm, mhm. Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval. What's a Tom I'm forgetting? Not a good track record for Toms. Okay. Then, oh my God, poor Vladimir interrupting each argument as he tries to just bring them their food. My God. Well, then, mm, when Katie is saying that Schwartz has surrounded himself with these supporters that are against her and have been hurtful to her, uh-huh, and he has the audacity to say to her, "Yeah, well, you were the provocateur for a lot of that stuff." I'm sorry, what? What part of, "Hey, you know what? Don't fuck around with any of our coworkers," where I have to watch it replay on television that is national, played internationally, mind you. It is a small group. It is not that hard to dip your pecker somewhere else. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, why now I'm not really a big Shishu person, but I have become one. Now, this is something that I am never going to be on Shishu's side about. Miss Sheena, why the fuck are you so obsessed with who Tom Schwartz is or is not making out with, moving on with, etc.? Why? It's your wedding. You have so many other much more exciting things to be thinking about. Okay? Get why she wouldn't give that up. Now, I understand that she feels that I don't even know if it happened because the way I've been hearing Katie making the rounds on the podcast and just speaking in general, it doesn't sound like Sheena really gave much of an apology to Katie, but I know she had intentions to. So maybe she did. And maybe Katie just didn't receive it, which, you know what? You don't have to receive every apology, but you can be gracious, I would say. I'm just going to leave that part at that. But she's talking about Sheena and Raquel. Yes. I mean, Katie's mother is telling you, Rachel, how much they are all hurting from this divorce because divorce is not just between two people. Very rarely is it. And Katie is tearing up saying to you, "Look, I this hurts me. Please don't go fuck around with my husband." They are not divorced yet. Period. Because there's a weird time between when you separate and when the divorce is finalized that it's like you feel like you're floating in a limbo. And now some people divorce can take way longer than it should, like years, right? But it doesn't sound like it's one of those cases. They had only been separated for maybe, from what I understand, like at this point, maybe 4 or 5 months. That's not super long. And it was their one and only separation that we know of. So let's consider that, okay? Now, Schwartz saying that Katie was the provocateur in all of that. Katie, your dress is too damn cute for this shit. Get up and leave. And guess what she does? Fuck you, Tom. I'm getting out of here. Okay. And Schwartz is like, oh, yeah, I think she had to go to the bathroom. Because honestly, oh my God. If I were her and if he had called me Bubs Bubba one more time, I would have filleted his ass. Okay. Just letting you know. Okay, we're gonna move on from here. So this is something else that has been making the rounds this week. I guess James' girlfriend Allie was on a reality show back in the day. This was when she was like 18. All right, it was on the CW. CW doesn't even really do reality shows anymore, I don't think. And is it even CW anymore? I don't even know. It is, I think. Anyway, regardless, everyone's trying to be like, "Oh, so Allie really just wanted to be on this TV show and she's not interested in James." Now, I'm not sure that I necessarily believe that, but I do think it didn't hurt that James is on this show and that he's so enamored by her, but he is also love bombing the goddamn hell out of her. And we all know it. Clearly, he is. Now James, James when he asks Lala, they're still at that welcome dinner. So, Lala, are you gonna go on the catamaran tomorrow? And Lala's like, I don't know. I need to see how tonight's gonna go. And immediately, James turns around. I heard Lala doesn't want to go. Like, bro, are you fucking serious? Come on, man. Uh, like, I get it. Yeah, it's a little weird that at this point, Lala's like, well, I just want to make sure I feel safe. Well, regarding Raquel being on the boat, what is Raquel's dumbass going to do at that point? As far as we knew, then she can't even form a full sentence without her voice shaking when she's talking to you, Lala. Her brain, like she short circuits, okay? She has the pauses. She doesn't know. She needs a cue card, okay? She needs a line. Now, there's nothing to worry about there, but I can understand maybe you don't feel safe not pushing her into the ocean. Fair. That I can get down with. Now, then when Sheena, of course, gets upset because how Lala, we saw this brought up more than once, had said, yeah, as long as it's the group gatherings and it's not the intimate, just bridesmaid shit, I'll be there for everything, whatever. Okay, fine. So Sheena's upset. And I love that Brock stood up for Sheena in this moment. I did. I couldn't help but like it, all right? And he, saying to Lala that he feels, or more so that he's speaking that Sheena feels that really Lala is there for Katie and it's not Katie's trip. I don't think Lala is there for Katie, but Lala feels more comfortable around Katie right now, which who would have thought we would see the day? And that's great. I love their friendship. I actually do. And that we're going to leave it at that. But I also think Lala handled that pretty damn maturely, if I do say so myself. Oh my god. So, when Katie's texting Christina, she's like, come up to my room. I'm so mad. That's me foreshadowing a little bit. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And Christina starts running up, right? Well, Christina goes to their room and they're talking about everything with Schwartz, and Christina's like, "Well, Katie, this is clearly part of the reason why you're not with him." Yet, Christina, you were encouraging her to go celebrate her anniversary and acknowledge their wedding anniversary. Why? Why? That's bizarre. I mean, if I did that this year, my very first divorce court date was on my ex-husband's and my wedding anniversary. What are the odds? Okay. I'm leaving that at that. But when Schwartz tries calling Katie and you just hear his phone on the table ringing and she answers, "What?" Same, babe. Same. That's how I would have answered. Now, whenever they get a knock at the door when Christina and Katie are in the hotel room, and they both he's like, "No, no, 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 no." And Christina's like, "Shit, what? Okay, fine." 'Cause I'm thinking Katie thinks it's Schwartz. I don't know. Maybe for once she thinks he got some balls and said, "You know what? Let me go fight for her." No. Can you imagine looking through the people and she's like, "It's Raquel." And all you see are these two big eyes, like set of eyes just going blink, 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 and then just staring because Raquel is known to just stare through your goddamn soul. And they open the door. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this, but I know I'm still trying to remember that I don't know about the affair yet, right? Rachel looks like she's about to puke coming there to deliver this stupid ass message. And I mean, not the shaky voice from the dear bitch telling them not to go into the preferred areas. Sheena would like for you not, you know, to go where like the pool is because it's the only, and the way she does her hands too, it's like she steeples her hands a lot. The only swim up bar. Uh, Girl, get out of here because I would have done the same thing that these two ended up just cracking up at her. Ma'am, what are you, little girl, get out of here. I, you know, listen, if I were Katie, one, I'd be like, I would say, I'm going to go wherever I want to go, period. I paid for my room. I paid for this trip. I'm here on a vacation as well. She's part of the cast. She had to go. What part of this do y'all not get? She had to be there in some capacity, right? So, with that, it is a big resort. Now, am I going to go seek out where these people are? Personally, if I'm Katie, because if I show up, are they going to sneer and snicker at me and have like a little meh, meh aside, yeah, I don't wanna go be around that, so, no, I'm not gonna deliberately show up wherever they are, but I'm gonna go wherever I want to. Am I only going to be like, "Hey, this is a preferred area. Sheena said I couldn't be here. I'm not gonna be here." No, that's not the way it's gonna work for me, sorry. And then Sheena tries to say that this was a fucking joke she was making when she was like, "Okay, so who's the bridesmaid that's gonna go and tell Katie that she cannot go to any of the preferred areas list? Who's the bridesmaid? Who's gonna do it?" Oh yeah, Rachel, who was calling the girls Chihuahua followers. Well, that's real rich, isn't it? Um, Also, Shishu, honey bunny, love ya, but you are a goddamn nightmare of a bride to be hosting things the way you are. It is 1:07 AM. Everyone is probably jet lagged. You've expected them to go to this welcome dinner. And it again, 1:07 AM. Everyone has to be ready to leave by 9:30 AM. In the morning? That's man, I gotta go back to my room and wash my face. Gotta brush my teeth. I've gotta sleep off the alcohol I've now had. And then I'm gonna have to wake up like 8 o'clock to make sure I'm alive enough to get some coffee, some breakfast, take a shower, get camera ready. Girl, that is hell. Now, the bachelor bachelorette parties. Mm-mm-mm. So really Schwartz, or I'm sorry, Sandoval. This is what's really hard about recapping this because there's trying to like say Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval. It is like a tongue twister and it makes me insane. Sandoval saying that he and Ariana check girls out all the time. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Not in the way you are. You and Ariana, and yes, Ariana is bisexual, but you're checking them out in very different ways. Mhm. I can assure you of that. Actually, we know that for certain. Now, the way Schwartz thought that normal and healthy and well-fed young lady in the pool who had very healthy, little tiny bitty smattering of cellulite on her was Rachel? Sir, that woman has actually had some protein and some healthy carbs and some healthy fats in her diet, and she looks like she works out and she's taking care of herself. Okay, she is not a walking tree. I'm sorry, that's rude. We don't talk about people's looks on this podcast. I forgot, but it was odd because not a damn girl on this cast has even a tiny smattering of cellulite. What the fuck are you? Um, yeah, James did kind of crack me up with this, where he was like, "No, I've been around the world and been around different societies and cultures, and yeah, these guys are a bit. Oi, take a Viagra and fuck a kangaroo." Yeah, that really they were a bit, yeah. Was that a picture of Brock with makeup on all the guys' little weebies, dinglings, dicks? Fine, okay, I'm done. Now, you know, I do feel that when Lala was having that heart to heart with Allie, it's like she was trying to kind of be there for her, but she was also a little bit projecting. Um, yeah. So I think she was coming from a good place. I think Lala, because she's a mom now, she is just at heart now a mama, and she wants to look out for people. Listen, I never thought I'd see the day that I am Team Lala on a lot of things. What's going on? So this, okay, the white party, the night of the white party. All right. Well, Katie and Christina go to dinner, and Lala goes as well. I don't think that Katie and Christina actually had intentions to set up shop where they had a direct line of view to this party. Now, if it were the wedding, yes, I do believe we see it coming, them looking over the balcony. No, I don't think that they were trying to actually, no. But guess what? It's great for the crew and it makes things a lot easier for them. So, hey, that's the way it went. And they had front row seats. Well, this dinner before that, well, we get this bit from Raquel, our comedy queen, Rachel, the comedy queen. It's interesting. It seems like Rachel, the comedy queen, takes sketch comedy very seriously. Hmm. I mean, you would think she had done some UCB improv, some groundlings. Girl, who knew you were so hilarious, especially with prop work? Because I just, with her feather hands, sleeves, cuffs, feather cuffs, trying to make fun of Lala and Katie and Christina being like, "Oh, it looks like they're having a lovely time. We hate love. We hate everybody. Meh, 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 meh." And then she says, "Bah humbug." Rachel, that is for Christmas time with Ebenezer Scrooge. That is, oh, the way I don't expect her to even know who Tiny Tim actually is. Okay. I mhm. I just Rachel is so uninformed on so many things. And hmm, that is not saying anything that anyone and everyone doesn't already know. But when I say uninformed, I mean it is like an ignorance that I don't want to use the DRS word, but does Rachel read? books without pictures in them? I'm wondering. I don't think she does. So anyway, yeah. The way Rachel looks at Sandoval immediately about the possibility of making out with Schwartz. Anyone else catch that? Go back and look. It's uh uh-huh. Meanwhile, Ariana in confessional thinks that Rachel's ears are perking up at the sound of Schwartz and makeout. No, the reason they are perking up is because ooh, I can make Sandoval jealous. Ooh, I can get his attention. And this is also so Schwartz. He says, being single now, I didn't think people would be still, would still tell me how to think and feel, but now I'm feeling a little attacked when they're telling him, no, don't go. When Sandoval is saying to Schwartz, I just don't want your, dude, I just don't want your ex wife around, okay? You never wanted her around when she was his wife, when she was his fiance, or when she was his girlfriend. Really? Because I swear, you are so up his ass. The real puppet here is Schwartz, okay? Not Rachel's feather sleeve cuffs. And, Schwartz, maybe if you had some thoughts for yourself for once, and you didn't have to look at someone else to confirm your thoughts for you, maybe people would stop telling you how to think and feel because you don't know how to think and feel on your own. Like I said, codependent as fuck on anyone who is next to him, unless you're Katie. Because, hey, he finds a quick adversary in her. Mhm. Well, and then he goes and hides behind a tree. Mm. And sneaks. Yeah, okay. We'll say he sneaks on over to Katie, Christina, and Lala's dinner. And he says, uh, I just uh, he's actually asks Katie about trimming his armpit hair for him. Y'all, the way he just played that entire table by trying to share something embarrassing about himself and try and make himself look so sad and like he needs help. Something that's so embarrassing and gosh, this is so embarrassing to admit. I'm mortified. And this is the only thing I could trust Katie with. Earmuffs, guys. Gosh, Katie, Bubba, could you trim my armpit hair? God, it's so embarrassing. No, Schwartz, get the fuck out of here. Leave. Go. And when Katie's like, no, absolutely not. Listen, I had a boyfriend one time that I did have to shave his back hair once or maybe twice. No. I cannot. Ugh. Mm, yeah, it was a weird thing where he, was doing some acting for an infomercial that he was supposed to be using a laser hair removal device, and, he was mad at me because he hadn't been using it, and he had to make it look like he had progress photos. This is a true story, and somehow it was my fault that he hadn't been using it. Don't know why. Kinda weird, right? Oh, yeah, it was my fault because I didn't have the time to zap his entire goddamn back, shoulders, and chest for him. Sorry that you're hairy. It's not my fault. Go get waxed. I don't fucking know. You're preaching to a female about having to take care of unwanted hair. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so yeah, all those infomercials are bullshit. Okay? If you didn't already know. Because yours truly had to shave him for one of them. Cute. And they put makeup over it and that was it. But, okay, and that's the other thing is, Lala says, "I don't like how he comes over here and leaves and makes you feel bad for him." Yeah, he knew what he was doing. And the way he leaves all defeated and, "Gosh, I'm just gonna kick a rock or pebble with my shoe and I just" because guess what he leaves to go fucking do, my friends? What did he leave to go do? He went to go make out with Rachel. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did. He went to go make out with Rachel, which Rachel say I'm sorry, no, it was Schwartz that says to Rachel, "Gosh, are you I'm feeling are you trying to seduce me?" Well, do you feel seduced? I I mean, I could not that kiss was not okay. No, neither one of them was into that. Get the fuck out of here with that. Get out of here. Neither one of them was into that, and you will never convince me that they were. You will never convince me. Aside, let's pretend Sandoval didn't. Nothing happened with Scandal. Let's just go ahead and pretend that. I do not believe on any level that the two of them, in any capacity, were at all into that kiss. It was bleh, no. Now, there was a preview that was put out, I guess, just on, cable Bravo TV that shows Ariana, Rachel, and Sandoval, and I believe Sheena is there, I think, sitting at a table kind of, like, all on the same side, and Sandoval is saying to Raquel, and I believe it must be about making out with Schwartz, and he's like, "Raquel, Raquel, Raquel," and Ariana goes, "Could you stop saying her name that way? It's weird." And if you look at what he mouths, I'm going to credit first I saw this on at Face Reality 16, but I can't remember the name of the TikTok account that posted it, but some other people have noticed this too. Sandoval says to Raquel after Ariana says, "Can you stop saying her name like that? It's weird." He goes, "She's jealous." And Rachel turns around and gives him a smile. Murder, jail, prison, wax the balls, hang him by his toenails. Both of them. Oh my god. Oh my god. So that's the recap of this recent episode, my friends. That being said, I am going to attempt to do either Ultimate Girls Trip or Ranj. I don't know. Gonna do my best here. Ranj is not giving us what I thought it would, and it's a little frustrating, but it was a little comical this week, so I'm okay with that. I am. That being said, I think Girls Trip would be fun to do. So I have a lot of note taking for 5 episodes. Y'all, it's like I love and hate when they do this to me, right? Well, okay. All of this being said, please do me one more favor. Leave a nice review, 5 stars and above, please. Catch that joke there. Subscribe to everything YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter's fine. I am even on Reddit now. Okay. Doing all the things, all of them. Okay. And I hope you enjoyed this. I always love talking with y'all. You're fun to talk to. And I will thank you for joining me and see you on the next episode. Okay. Bye, friends.